song again.
Welcome back, gentlemen. I know we started a little bit late, but hey, we're here.
We in there
Hey.
like school.
What's going on? What's going on?
What up?
Happy Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Wasted. Hey,
Yes, sir.
did you go live on your Kindle Pay?
Yeah. Everything is live right now. We're live, gentlemen. So you know,
Bad. Do it
hopefully,
in.
your Wednesday is going good.
So far, so good.
So
Yeah.
far,
So
so good. You've been at work for like 14, 15 hours.
nice.
Yeah.
Long day, long day. I know everybody's had a long day, but
Long day,
we're
short
here.
night.
We started a little bit late because Ernest had some technical difficulties with his stuff, but we're here.
Gee, you just gonna call your boy out like that?
We made it. We made it.
Right, we still here though. Hey, Gam, when you gonna let me get Daisy?
What's going on, man?
When you gonna let me get Daisy, bro?
Can't do it. Many have tried.
I know. I've been trying. Like
Yeah.
Dennis won't even let me get a penis from me.
Oh no, they're staying here.
Now, you already know I
Yeah.
thought it was horrible if I had
No, I
She'll
know.
she'll be here
that.
forever.
Forever. That's like Pelosi too.
Yeah. Some dogs,
Yeah.
some
Some are
stay and
keepers.
then some take off,
Some are,
depending.
like, that's a crazy thing. Like in this breeding thing, you got your keepers and you got the tools.
Yeah.
Which for me, like, I don't know, I can't keep a tool in my house. Like, because the connection between you and the dog, like, this is a forever house, bro.
Hey, now that you're bringing a tool into this conversation,
Yeah.
explain what's a tool to the audience that might be
So,
asking. Are they talking about tools like mechanic
yeah,
tools, or
stuff
what
like that.
kind of tools they're
Well,
talking
Like
about?
basically, it is.
like
It is.
power power tools.
Yeah.
Power tools, a wrench, socket, whatever. So, like, you have a dog that's like basically like, has almost everything. But then you have a dog that fares but has, how to put it, it has the thing that's going to fix the dog you're breeding. But it doesn't have the overall of what the dog you're breeding to keep it here positive, like the other overall dog. That tool is something that you can use to add into your program, but it's just not always the overall everything, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
Let me see. What dog do I have a tool? None of them.
I yeah.
No, the
Sometimes
best,
it might
they're
start
all
off
tools.
right. You might start off that way, and then you realize they turn into something else, or maybe you just get rid of them altogether, or say, oh, you know what, I thought this was only gonna go one way, and they do. I think maybe now people throw that word around a lot. I'd be seeing like,
Yeah,
oh, somebody said it, and now it's all over the
yeah, yeah,
internet, and
yeah, 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 yeah.
oh, the tool, and then some people they don't like that word, they get all mad, like, oh, people don't. At the end of the day, like that's what it's, hey, maybe you want this, or maybe you want a bigger head, or
Yeah,
we get into the color, it's a tool to get to the color, and then you
yeah.
get
Exactly. Yeah.
another
I mean,
one for the size, and then right, but I think they're good, and tools are good. If you use them correctly, right, the right way, to get you or your program, to the next, or even if your dog, if you're just looking to do something like, hey, they're gonna get you to the next, to the
the
next
To the
next
next
level.
step where you
level.
gotta be. Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
and like in that, like like a tool is needed. You can't fix a car or do better on your performance side without a tool.
True that.
Like you said, that tool is gonna bring me a bigger head. It's gonna bring me a more solid rear because everything from my bitch, from the head to the hips is solid, but her rear ain't good. But that male got a bigger rear and a bigger head. Bomb, let me go ahead and be more angulated rear and a bigger head. So I'm trying to add these things. That's what your tool is.
Yeah, put it together and get what your
Overall dog,
per-
yeah.
perfect dog is, whatever it may
Yeah.
be.
Is there really a such thing as a perfect dog? Let me shut the fuck up. There it is.
No, there's not a
Like,
perfect dog out there, man.
Have you
You
met a
try to
dresser?
get you try to get as close as you can to be a perfect dog, but there ain't no
Yeah.
perfect dogs out there.
I mean, but
Yeah,
perfection is in your own judgment. Yeah.
yeah, yes, in its own right, or you know, by you or whoever else.
Yeah. Like I feel like for like on the dresser, if I had that head type, oh bro, I'm set.
Yeah,
Speaking of, tell Sam to let me get past him.
Nah, that's not gonna happen.
6 months, don't let me get him for 6
Yeah, she that's her dog. She won't let that dog go. And Peso's a tool,
Yeah.
you know. Peso to me is a tool. Oh shit,
He's a tool. Like I need him over here too. He's a solid tool.
exactly, yeah, yep.
Yeah, yeah. He just let y'all know if y'all tuning in. Remember, look out for Peso on the dress shoe.
There you go.
That's a tool. Because I've seen Peso in person, and that dog that's a solid dog.
It is.
Like, it's real solid. And then the coolness of it, because dress shoe is one part
Yeah,
and she got that Bournemouth blood. So bringing that tool to add into my double AB, like that bringing to be 2 part AB, 1 part Bournemouth. So it's going to give me my bone, my mass, my size, my rear angulation, and correct some things in both dogs, and add to the whole entire production. That's what you do with a tool. You put everything together to make one solid.
that's true.
yeah,
And
and
you
that's what
use
it's
those
about.
tools to, yeah, you use those tools to fix certain traits or things that you want to make better.
Yeah, but I got a question for Gam
Uh-oh.
though. When you bring Daisy again, what's the lineup for that?
Oh, I don't know. We might have something lined up in the next maybe 2 to 3 months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll see the direction that I go, but it's probably gonna be some collaboration. But I have uh, something I'm thinking about.
Send
Um,
it to me on Messenger. We can wrap
so it's
it.
gonna be
You ain't gotta go all out, but you know where I'm at
top
with
top
it.
top secret. But no, it's gonna be good. There's a couple ways that you know I could go with it that are gonna be I think the best way to go. But we'll see. I've thrown some ideas around. Dennis has put some ideas. We've charted some stuff up. Um, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hopeful, but yeah, in the next maybe 2 to 3 months, we should get started on it.
That's nice. That's nice. She's a real solid dog. And like we didn't when we were talking about genetics and everything, we didn't bring her up, but she's a solitude of the Bagara slash Guerrero Bulldog blood. And you can see a lot of that genetics still going on. Because what she's a venom belly sister.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, the belly sister.
Yeah, so that right there, like, bro, that bitch is real nice. She real nice.
Yeah, no, she's tight overall. I wish maybe I would have got her second. I got her early. I'm learning, we're learning more stuff, but we're never too late. We did some good stuff, so um, we'll be all right.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? Gam during that litter, Gam was first pick female for that litter.
Oh, that's nice. You got
Yeah,
lucky.
Yeah, we're
Where
way
was I
luck.
at? The holiday.
you were there. But I think at that time you were more focusing on the transport business and trying to acquire the dogs.
I'm sorry, I got some OTC. Either way it goes, what's love about this man, we're all, the support we give to each other, we're all winning in every way.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And if you keep some people we do know, or they're like way separate or way off on like their ideas. And then you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go this way, and then sometimes you find people that are like minded in the group, and you're like, hey, this is what we're gonna you have similar views, right? And then you
yeah,
branch off to whatever, but that's always helpful when you have or people being honest, right?
True that. Yeah.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
each other.
You know, like even when people being honest, like I say, if anybody came and like asked any one of us any questions or whatever, we're always honest. We're like some people can't take that honesty and they get offended by
That is true.
it. Like
Yeah.
it's really hard, like because like let's say like I'm gonna speak on me personally,
Okay.
and there might be a lot of people think this or whatever, whatever. But the way I see a dog and what a dog is like they have a true purpose. And yeah, they're companions, but I think people over baby them, where they take a lot, like from that whole like babying a dog and things like that. I feel a dog actually loses its like whole traits of being a dog. And for me, I like that's just how I am with my dogs. Be a dog, bro. Yeah, I take you out in public, we hang out, we do this and the third, but I ain't finna coddle or baby you because like raising a kid. You gotta be brave, you gotta be confident, you gotta do things on your own. I can't hold your hand the whole damn time, like every day.
Yeah. With with purpose or something to a job to do, right? You don't put him in a
Yeah.
stroller and walk him down the street.
Hey, that's how you get the honeys. You didn't know?
Yeah, I mean everybody tweets their own, right? Some people, have different ways of even some people with the same breed, right? And then you're like, wow, look what that dog is doing. He's just a couch potato. Then you have another dog that's wilding out.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you get those guys like without a job or couch potato or whatever. And they don't ever leave the house, and then that dog becomes like he wild
Yeah, they
because
see some
people are like, oh,
outside.
because people are always like, I don't know why he's acting this way. Well, you don't know because you never took him nowhere to find out why he acted. You
Yeah,
just
he
did. Now
never
he ain't
been
never been used to this. Yeah,
he's never been outside.
yeah. They just sit in the house, like in your yard or whatever, or on the couch or whatever. That's number third. You gotta get them dogs
Wh-
off the couch, get out of the world.
Yeah, well, that's the whole, socialization stuff, right? I know
Yeah,
back in the day, people used to say like, "Oh, they're gonna get sick" or parvo and all that stuff. To me, and I'm sure to other people, I think socialization is probably, you know, more important to get them out. The sooner, the better. To see stuff, to hear stuff, um,
Yeah, expose
environments
them to
and
different environments. Yeah.
yeah, and exposure, especially when you have a dog, a large breed, even small dogs. So those dudes, we put it down, like downplay them, like, oh, they're small, so who cares if they act like that, right? But
okay.
those,
Yeah, but and
large
you don't
dogs,
realize that.
I know
Yeah,
the
you
little
don't realize that.
chihuahua be fucking everybody up.
yeah. But if your dog, big dog, does it, then it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
And
actually, a teeth are teeth. The bites are
and
bites. It don't matter like what the breed is and whatnot.
no, and see, and
yeah,
that's how a lot of these, especially like the bully breed, I guess, or the pit bulls or whatever, they
Yeah.
get a bad rep because they could be the most behaved dog, but you got these small little dogs that are wilding out, and they're not controllable. Owners can control them, and they're out there trying to fight your dog, and then your dog
Right.
literally snaps and snatch his neck and break his neck. Oh,
Yeah.
your dog is bad. It's your fault. No.
No, your dog ran up on me. It don't matter the size, bro. You bringing the hands on your dog gonna throw hands too. Like, what up,
yeah.
Syke? Hey, what
And
up,
then
Syke?
your dog looks, like a certain way, right?
Yeah.
So then they're like, it had to be your dog, right? Or
Yeah. Right.
yeah, that's just that's the way it goes. But yeah, that's why it's important to get those dogs out, to
Yeah.
Yeah,
see people and
definitely.
stuff.
Hey,
It makes
we
it easier.
we got Sykes in here. He's like, what's up, fellas?
What's going
Hey,
on?
Sykes, how's it going, brother? I
Hey,
saw you at
Sykes,
the
man,
at the show.
that's that what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Sykes, if you on, you in here, man. How was that show, man? How was that?
I did comment on his YouTube on his live. I did ask him how they go with his dog that they show. He did say that he placed on one of the shows. On
No,
the other ones he didn't, but man, that boy looked good. I think his
this is
he
it
posted
was,
a little video. I think his wife was commenting, and that boy that he posted, man, he looked real good.
you talking about the blue one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, that was a
What
solid
city or
dog.
state was
Like,
that?
I was in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sykes, I want to keep it like for real. That dog, I told me like with the pictures of like, all the pictures of photos all came out. And I didn't know whose dog that was. And I was like, yo, who owned that?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
that
That was
boy.
a nice
He,
dog.
I think that boy is promising. Keep working on
Yeah.
him. I think he'd be able to champion that boy
Hey,
at no
hey,
time.
hey, he promising enough, man. We might need to do something quick.
There he goes.
You're
I got
that.
yeah, I got two of them that's coming up, bro.
Ready.
Yeah, I got two of my oldies females coming up. And I've been talking to this. I'm gonna go back and forth on what to do with them.
I got a
Yeah.
female right now that she just started her heat cycle yesterday.
Uh-huh, which one?
GAM producer.
Gam
Oh,
produced?
the
Yep.
who was that? That's the macho
Her
daughter.
original name Crenshaw, aka Sierra,
Oh, that's
Wait, how do I not know about this stuff?
Oh, come
because
on,
I just found out
dog.
yesterday. And she was at a guardian home. They hit me up late night, and I'm like, okay, cool. I was
Hey, throw a
like,
picture up, throw a picture up. Let's see it.
That's
ah, shit. You gonna make me go into to my phone. Hold on.
no,
I
Hey,
that's
was
a
gonna,
date. That's a Daisy daughter.
yeah. Oh, and talking about Daisy, here she is. Look.
That's Macho's belly sister,
Yep.
champion
yeah,
Macho.
you're welcome, Sykes, man. Good work on that dog.
Look at this. That's Daisy right there.
Hey,
That's
hey,
the
look
first
at them
show.
thighs.
What? Yeah, that was the first show.
That's
That yeah,
rad.
that was Gans for sure. Where I pushed him to show his dogs. I was like, man, go for it.
That's when my
I
shorts
think
were falling off.
he showed her in the first show, okay? Or was I the one who showed
Yeah.
her first?
No, I think no, that I think you were showing Vagar.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, but
real nice. That's a nice top line.
that was Daisy's first show. Mine too.
She has a really nice top line, bro.
So we were just that's when my shorts almost fell off.
That's
Everybody
true. She's
everybody
running
was
through the ring,
she's
and
running through
his
the
shorts were almost
ring.
to the floor.
Everybody was laughing at me, but I came
But it
right
worked
back.
out, huh?
I came right back, and now I'm sure everybody's sick of me.
That's
You did
true.
what?
I came back after that a few shows.
You gotta. That's the thing. You gotta keep going and going and going. And going.
Yeah, yeah, you get better. It's a good experience.
What's it?
That's
What's
why.
dude's name? In the oldie, what's his name? Eric
Yeah.
Garcia.
Yeah.
Man, kudos to homeboy because he don't care where it's at. He goes.
Yeah, some people make that the trip, man.
Yeah, like I gotta make more time to even get in there and like do that. Like
And then
overall.
some people it's in the same city and they don't show up. But
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Everyone from my
We've
city,
been to a couple
y'all
of shows. Yeah, no, we've been to a couple of shows, different states, and there be some people that be online, and we offer like, man, come down, just bring the dog so we could see them, and they don't even show up.
Man, that don't make no sense. Like if it's right there in your city, that don't make no sense. Like show up. Like
yeah, and it's I
what's it
mean
experience
it's all
you?
love, you know.
Yeah. Well, it depends on who at the show. You got beef with some people, it ain't all love.
I love everybody.
No, but you know what? The thing is that you claim you got some of the best dogs out there, and you show them all on social media and the internet, and we're like, all right, cool. You know
I
what?
don't
Bring
do
them
guys
out.
like
Let's
that.
see them. But they don't show up and shit, and we're like, man, we're in your backyard. Like, we want to see those badass dogs that you post.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came to play.
Sykes wants to
So
know.
I got a question for you guys.
Hold on, wait. Sykes wants to know if you gonna see us at the Beast of the East.
Man, somebody's got to pick me
I'll be
up.
there.
So somebody's got to pick me up.
Hey, you and Dennis ride together.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a
I'll
flight, right?
be. Oh, I'm
What state
flying.
is that?
Oh, but I think it's
Virginia.
North Carolina.
I'm gonna bring a dog.
Do it.
Nah, I don't know. These are
Well,
maybe
I
that's
already
something I
got a
can
couple
look
of
into.
dogs out there.
But
Yeah. You got one at my crib too.
Yeah, I got that one, and I got uh
You
uh,
already know. What's his name? Vito up there.
Vito's out there. I'm gonna see if he's coming down. But I got that two-time Bill daughter that she's gonna be there.
Would you bring? But ain't she with you though?
Oh, that's right.
Oh no, my boy.
Huh?
Or is she?
She up there. She's up there in the East Coast.
Well, you can't say up there. The East Coast is over there, and he goes up and down. Like where? Well, Sai said it's going to be the biggest bulldog show this year. Hey, Sykes, when is that show?
I think it's in November, November 1st.
November 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hold
See,
on.
there you go. Bulldog show. That's everybody's calling their dogs bulldogs now.
That's everything. Like
That's
yeah.
everything.
Hey, I'm thinking my birthday week. My birthday 8 days after that.
There
I
you go.
know. That'll be your
Hey,
birthday gift out there.
I
That'll
know.
be
You
a
think you can make that dinner?
Oh, I'll be there.
Like that ass?
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be there.
I'm about to request off work right now. Then.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Damn.
Yeah, bro.
I was gonna take the wifey, but I don't know now. She's like, hey, ask one of your friends if they want to go with you. So
That's
there you
it.
go,
And there's
Graham.
one right there next to you on this
I'm
podcast.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro.
I don't know. I'm live. My girl's watching this for the first time. She's about to be like,
You about to get in trouble.
my kid is on here too. She's probably like, he's going where?
Hey, we'll you know what? We'll fly Friday. We'll be back Sunday night.
How you
Yeah,
going? You going good?
I'm down for something, probably pretty quickly. But I mean, I guess maybe I could inquire about taking a dog, but I don't know if it's gonna be too much. I maybe just go for the experience.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like, well, you gotta remember, like, you drive from Cali all the way over here.
I'm not driving.
Yeah, that's
Hey, Big Red made it. So shit.
That's
so it's
right.
on a
See?
Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's a Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
All right, cool. So I can request off that Saturday, and it's just a 1 day show. Or just 2 days.
Good
I think
question.
it's
I'm
just the
sure. I think it's a
one.
2 day, or I don't know.
I think it's just the one.
The F1 AB is popping, man.
Now, Sykes is saying the F1 AB oldies popping right now. Let them see your ABs.
I mean, we all got them.
Yeah. Here's that female that came in heat that Gan produced. This is a champion machos litter mate on the same, belly brothers.
What's going on, foreign? Hey, how that girl? Oh, is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
his sister.
that's all right.
That's a Peso daughter, Diesel
Yeah.
granddaughter.
Look at them shoulders, man. That right there.
So that's Daisy's daughter.
So let me ask you guys right here. This dog right here. Would it be a tool or is it like your constant?
Probably
To me,
probably
it's
not
she's a tool.
the end game, but yeah, she's a good tool and she's
Yeah.
already, produced some stuff that and this is like what we said, right? You have the dogs and then you look to the litter, right? So if you see her, then you see her brother, right? And then you see her parents, then you see the offspring. It's like, hey, we're getting somewhere here. Not the
Yeah.
end game, but we're getting, there's getting somewhere, um, which is very good.
So when you say okay, so if we say that, would you consider every dog to be a tool?
No.
Like how not? If the dog, okay, you got a male, you got a female. Is Daisy? Let me ask you, Daisy, your be all end all?
Is she like a perfect dog?
Yeah.
No.
So you're still breeding her to get somewhere, right?
Yeah, but also consistent because what I have, I like,
Good answer. I
you
like it.
know. So it's like, hey, I like them, and this is what they should look like. And most of the dogs, they're consistent as fuck. So it's like, hey, this is what it should. The breed, right? That's the thing. You get into the American Bulldog, you put a bunch of Rottweilers together, they all look the same, right? But
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
get into the American
Wonder
Bulldog,
Bird.
and then what happens, right? The standard, the bully,
The hybrids.
the hybrids, the whatever, all that stuff you want to call it. Then it's like, well, what should it be, right? You
Yeah.
want a 16-inch dog or 25, right? I don't know. Depends
So
who you ask.
yeah, so here's where I guess the breed standard falls into, whether it's depending on what registry you're following the standard to, that's why I don't know if you guys breed towards that, or you just say fuck it. You know what? It's my dog. I'm gonna breed to whatever I like and go from there.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry. I missed that question.
but
Uh,
that's how you have all these different type of bulldogs now. You know, uh,
Well, I'm
I know
sorry. I
some
missed the question. What were you saying?
I was asking where that's where the standard comes in, depending on what registry you follow, or you go by that standard. So are you breeding or following the standard to have a dog from that, let's say NKC or ABA standard, or you just making a dog on your own terms and you're like, well, this is the way I like my dogs, and it is what it is.
Well, you're asking me, right?
Yeah, what do
And
you guys look? Yeah,
so in my breed that I'm breeding for, say my AB, so I'm breeding towards that standard. Like, so because we have the hybrid John.
yeah.
what
So
what what would be the hybrid?
I'm more bullier English looking bulldogs. Like that's more the hybrid side.
Okay.
Hold on, but that's for the oldies or which one?
Hey,
For the, oh, okay,
yeah, it's our AB. That's like our dog. Then we have the hybrid Johnson.
the bully type. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that type, I'm breeding that thing. I'm breeding that type. I'm breeding that. That's where I'm going. Like that's literally it because I'm respecting what that breed standard breed type is, but I need that to go towards where I'm going. So my overall, I'm not sticking in and remaining in this, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So then with the we'll go to this, like where they say the F1 AB, or the F1 oldie. Is there a standard for that? And is everybody working towards the same, or like is it a style, or
Good question. Because I know there's a lot of confusion, I guess you could say, on the American Bulldog too, as well. I guess on the bully side, um, there's some people that breed oldies to American. They call them F1s, and that's a F1 oldie, whatever. But then they breed it back to, let's say, an American. Well, would you consider that being an American Bulldog, or it's still F2 or F1, whatever it is? Ernest, you're stuck. We don't know what you're saying, brother.
I think we lost him.
Yeah.
He'll jump back in. Yeah, but that's kind of my question, like where where does that go? But then too with just American Bulldog in general, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess any breed if you start that has different classes within.
Okay. So we do have some oldies on the messages right now. Foreign Brim just say 3 gens out. I say would determine, I guess, if is it American Bulldog or oldie?
Okay, so depending what you put it back to, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So then you would go oldie, right?
Yeah.
AB, okay, and then you would breed the next one to oldie AB, and then breed that. That's the third. The second.
I'm back. I didn't. My Mac died, so I had to hurry up and switch to my phone.
Okay.
All right. So what
But
we got?
maybe you could clarify this, Ernest. The thing is, what we're talking about is you breed an American to an oldie, you get a F1, right?
That is an F1.
So if you breed that F1 back to the American, will that be an American Bulldog or it's still like a F2 or F1?
No, that's still going to be a foundational. It's always going to be an F1 because you're going back to a foundational breed of the oldie.
Okay.
So you're never if you go back to a foundation with a foundation, you're going to remain as a foundation.
Mm.
So
Go ahead.
so let's say ODAB, right? I get a female. ODAB, I get a male. I breed those,
You got an F2.
right? So now we're in the direction where we want to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because
And
once you collab and you keep going, because once you get 4 generations, you now have a oldie.
yeah, that's what I see Foreign Brim said. He was saying 4 gens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 gens, you become that's a generational oldie.
Because there is, there's breeders out there though that, they look for a certain look. Let's say they breed to a oldie American to a oldie, they breed it back to an American, but they're calling it a straight American Bulldog.
Then because you look at that because like I don't know if those people are more into the 7/8 rule because now you're looking at about 88% AB. So now you're that's AB, and I
Mhm.
agree. Now you're that's all AB really because that oldie blood is you're just pretty much just a less percentage of oldie than it is American.
If you did what? Say that again, Dennis. What was it?
No, I'm saying that there's some breeders out there that they're breeding oldies to Americans, and then they get the offspring, then they breed it back to an American, and now they're calling it American Bulldog. So would it be like a F2 and not an American Bulldog? But like Ernest said, it's more
It's
preference,
still
I guess.
because you
Yeah, but that's where kind of earlier before we jumped on where we were kind of talking about depending on who it is, right, or what you call it,
yeah
because I'm I haven't been around that long, but when I was younger, and if the dog wasn't purebred, right, they'll call it like a mutt, right? But then you have crosses, and now people are doing 1 gen, right? We won't use dogs that we're dealing with just for political reasons, but we're gonna do a Chihuahua and a poodle, right? Well, that's that's nothing, right?
yeah that's a poodle.
So that's right. It's nothing. So then, but if your end goal is something, hey, that's a or people are calling it hybrid now. Is that
Yeah,
really a hybrid? That's just a mix of two dogs. That's 50-50, right? Hybrid is a cool word, but then it depends who you ask because you have the people that are like purists. They're like, oh no, absolutely not. Then you have the people that are, hey, it's a go-to, and then it's like, oh, this is now it's my tool, and it's whatever I register it at, whatever registry the show is at.
So do you feel that that's why we have different types because of maybe they started like that. They breed oldies to Americans, breed it back to an American, and now we have different types of bulldogs out there that, some look bully classic, and some look oldies, but they call them American, and they're small.
Yeah, yeah, I think so because if you get two people to do it or different lines, and then somebody else, gets those two lines and you do it, it makes sense. It is what it is, right? They would both be American or they would both be oldie, but they look like that because of the pedigrees, right? Like you stayed towards that,
Yeah.
well, they
so
look
that's
like
how.
pedigree, but yeah, you're still got to remember you have this, like you said, 2 different people. They both have 2 different eye sets. They're gonna pick their preference of dog instead of more of the standard of the dog. And I think that's why we have so many uh, looks and types of the breeds, is because not everyone has the same visualization of what the dog in front of them looks like. So like I can show you a dog, you can tell me something about it, but I'm like, I see that. So And I think having multiple types helps out so you can figure out what category you really fall into. But yeah, at the same time, you can't really be blind. You really got to be able to see the dog.
And you know what? I heard this. I think it was on Sykes' podcast. He did mention like the oldies. You know, there's a composite breed and there's different looks. I guess different types. And they did bring up how the Americans, we have classes, right? You know, you got the standard and then we got the bully. So we, you know, we could separate both on their categories. And I know that they brought that up that maybe they want to work towards, you know, having something like that to, separate each OD to their class. You know, whether if it's a more athletic, more linear OD, or you have the more English bulldog OD, or you have the mid-sized one in the middle. You know, kind of have classes for that. I think that'd be cool because then,
Yeah,
you know, I think people would literally pick a dog that they like. We're like, well, you know what, I want more of an athletic dog. Okay, well, you fall to the whatever, how, whatever they name it, standard or whatever it is.
yeah. I think so, and I think they probably like without it being like official, right? There is some because I've seen some where they're like the same, but then you have some that are a little bit shorter, a little bit girthier,
Yeah,
right? Then you have some like a little bit more muscular, um, more athletic, right? So
true.
I think it's stayed in that same course of like American Bulldogs. But the more you dive into it, I think people are doing that more and more nowadays with a lot of dogs, right? Depends who you ask because I follow some Cane Corso people and same thing. Then they got the tan points and then they're like people are like, oh, that's not this, or they have a show line and a working line,
Yeah.
little bit slimmer, little bit, taller, which is I think is good for some diversity in the
Like
breed and depending what what you're going for.
for
True.
me, for me, like I wish, like I know the oldie is the oldie. It is what it is. But I really wish there was a more categorized standard to what group you really truly fall into. Because
Okay.
that makes it harder for a lot of people. Like when you're selling your breed, when you're creating, like my F1 oldie, and which it wasn't really that big, but knowing that what type you actually fall in. Like for me, like your oldies, I mean, you can have the English type, you can have the AB type, and then I don't know what other type you're gonna have
Mastiff.
because
Bully,
man, I don't know. I'm not because I was really seeing like the AB the oldie
Neapolitan type.
no the color type.
Yeah,
So, but no, I really like on the realness. I really wish there was a more categorized standard for the oldie because like because it's gonna help you go in a direction of where you're really trying to go with your breed with the
yeah.
oldie
I think it's
because
it's on its way.
I
I think
hope
it's on its way there. Just the more I've been seeing it and the people utilizing, like Syke said, got to get a lot more dogs to come to the shows for
True.
classes to work, which is true. I mean,
yeah
we've been going to shows the last year, 2 years, and we got to get a lot of more people involved and different classes, and then that stuff works. It works a lot, a lot better. And then like that, people could kind of find their lane, what their end game is going to be,
right
and
right
what works for them, right? Whether it be like a family, whether it be like a working home, whether it be just Merle and chocolate, and we call it a day.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and that's with every breed, not just bully breeds in general.
More like where Cycle said, like you got to get more people to come to the shows. And with the oldie breed, like you go to an ABKC show, yeah, ABKC showed old, but you go there, man, you got a plethora of a brigade of bullies, and it's bully, 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 oh, bully, 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 oldie, like and you're there forever, and just to show your oldie, which is I still applaud it, I appreciate it, but what I'm really excited at for real, is that IOEBA has now come back to be the IOEBA that we all wanted. and that first show been taken off in Missouri, I think that probably set a lot of fire for a lot of people. Like, all right, cool. I actually have a place to where my breed can go, and not have to go sit at a bully show because the ABKC is really, the bullies, the exotics, the shorty boys. You really have a lot of AD people going. You didn't have a lot of oldie people going. You have some, but you didn't have a lot. And I think that, and with the introduction of where IOEBA has stepped in to now start hosting shows and being readily available for the oldie community, I think that probably set a fire and a tone for everybody. I know for one, it did for me because I want to compete against my breed, and I
Yeah,
want to compete against not just three or four of my breed. I want 8 to 10 in the ring, like a big, massive picking selection. So within that big, massive picking selection, even if I was sitting at a judge, I could sit and look like, okay, there's a lot of various types. Now we really got to start building a category for each type. But yet, at the same time, it still gives us a place to go.
Yeah, but no, and that's good. And I think stuff like this, right? Like what we're doing, like talking, sharing ideas. That's what's gonna get people, to do that and to see that hey, there is something, for that. Um, and different shows for different kind of people. I would like the same thing. I would like to see some more shows on for us or like the big dogs, American Bulldogs. Um,
yeah.
I think the wave is coming back. I talked to somebody um, the other day. They sent me a message, uh, and that's what he was saying. He quoted the big dog season, right? So he's saying
I
2026 is
like that.
gonna be more dog shows. So that's what they're trying to do for some for the larger breed because for the last few years people did go smaller with like the shorty bulls and the Frenchies and the exotics, right? And
True.
then
Yeah.
those English bulldogs they were getting smaller, smaller, right? Um, the Frenchies too, they're getting smaller, smaller. So that that's all fun. But I think me personally, I'm more of a big dog, kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so it would be fun to have those. But like we do the ABA and they have, you know, those they have the bully breeds and stuff, and we've shown Frenchies, and
Well, yeah, with the
American
ABA is yeah,
bulldogs.
it's a American Bulldog show, but they host at the same time the AMA.
The, yeah,
So that's all breed. So once you finish your classes in the AB, you advance. They have their own show, the AMA, and they start advancing. At the end, you're competing with Rockwaller, Pit Bulls, and overall. But you won your class or best of breed of your breed, and
Your class, yes.
yeah.
yeah,
So
and then you do the best in show, which
yeah,
I think is a good, is a nice way. And then they do the working event like the next day, right?
yeah,
Um, so you have,
Who
you
does
could
what?
get more.
Which
That's
who
through
does the working Ethan?
the
ABA.
the ABA. So they do
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
the next day, right? So you have Saturday is the show, sanction. They usually do what 2 to 3,
Yeah,
and then they do what's the other one with the other
Ironwork.
registry?
Oh, the AMA.
Yeah, the AMA, right?
Yeah,
So which is cool. Um, and then Sunday, then you do more like the Iron Dog. They have some cool stuff. It would be nice if we get some more people, to go or some more shows. But I see there's some traction and people are you know
and
making
I
some
know
room for us.
Jonathan Perry. He's in the comments, and I think he's the president of the IOEBA.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's another platform, let's say for the American Bulldog to register. I know they're going to be hosting more shows, and it'll be great. I will drive wherever is the Midwest or whatever it is to
Yeah,
take some of these
Pelotes is
dogs. Yeah,
registered.
yeah,
Pelotes is registered IOEBA.
yeah. See, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
and
that
mean, and that's one thing I love about the IOEBA. Like like it's the same thing as ABKC. They have a multiple plethora and a large variety of breeds to show. But I really love the IOEBA, in my opinion, is real based around bulldog. Like that's what I know the IOEBA to be. Like yeah, you can register all other breeds and things like that. But I really think that's the bulldog home for
okay.
multiple bulldogs, not just the AKC, the ABA. Well, the IOEBA gives us bulldog on bulldog, the Frenchie, the oldie, the 80, and that's where we are for those breeds. And that's what really like. I love that they're here. They're back, because it's been years. Because I've been in oldies for so long, but there really hasn't been a place. And then once John and his wife got into the IWBA and started saying there are going to be shows going, and you already know me, Dennis. I was so excited. I was happy about that. Like, yo, let's do this. Which I really wish I could have attended that show. Because you already know I did that breeding last year for my type, my foundation
Yeah.
of where I want to go with my oldie line. And I love all three of my keepers, or however you want to call them. I love all three, but that one boy Tookie, I really wanted to put him out and showcase, and just to put my name, my work right there in front of the whole standpoints of like the view of the eye of the entire oldie community. Like, yo, hey, this is where he's at. I can see where he's going. He's ready to do this because there's a lot of people that get in here and they're afraid to go do foundation. And you don't realize like a foundation is your foundation. That's where you start. And a lot of people, in my opinion, they go grab a generational oldie instead of making their own. And that's what I love about the oldie. You can start where you want to start and build that. And I think a lot of people need to have that patience. Like, okay, I want an oldie, or do I want to build an oldie? I would rather build it than going to go get somebody else's complete work and trying to build off of that. Or if you go take a generational oldie and you take a foundation to it, at least start with your own. Build your own line, build your own name, then build your type of what you're looking for in your breed.
True
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I think that's a good way. I think maybe I mean, probably some people wouldn't, right? It depends because I know there's people that are probably going, and those are the people that we want everybody, right? They're going to be building the breed, and you're going to see what they brought and what they've made and made things better, right? Or change the style. Um, but also too, the people that just put the two dogs together or just buy them, right? Yeah, pet home
Yeah,
dogs, or even they buy them with breeding rights, never breed them, but then they take them to the show, and then it's like, oh dang, right? Like, and that's when I think you see some other dogs. That maybe other people didn't think they had the potential, right? And they show them or they use them, for a pet, but it also brings other people out that they don't have to be like super, dog men, dog women, or, they're just like, hey, this is a good sport. I also do this, but I take my, dog to the show and we got some ribbons.
Yeah.
Pretty,
No.
pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Um,
right,
And you know
right,
what?
yeah,
I feel that as a breeder and stuff, even if you sell to pet homes and they just want a good pet, but I suggest invite those customers to these shows so they could get a feel of it. Like you mentioned them that invite them, see how these shows are. You expose different dogs out there that, like you said, some of these dogs are never going to be seen by other people or breeders, and they might have a gold mine in their yard or in their house. So you bring them out, you know, um, they show up, and then if the breeder is there or anybody you want to show your dog, you start showing them, and people get surprised, like, oh wow, I didn't even know my dog was able to do stuff like this, but
right, right.
you know,
Yeah, and they get,
Like,
people to come and, just to see. And some people bring family or friends, like when you would do for whatever, like, hey, come see me do this. And then
yeah,
they bring, people to support. So yeah, that's always good.
yeah, like you said, like you got pet home people that don't really know what they're holding on to.
yeah,
And why I say that is because Tookie's belly brother, I don't post him a lot because I'm keeping him in my pocket for right now. But man, that dog is something crazy. And
yeah,
the owners and everything, they love the dog. They love it, but they don't see what we see.
yeah,
But everything, like from the point they bought the dog, feeding, training, and everything else like that, they've stayed true to that. But what this dog is becoming, I'm telling you, the dog is he's something special.
definitely.
Like I'd buy it back from him. Like that's how nice this dog is. He's a super super nice dog, and just being able
Yeah.
to
And
just open their eyes up to really what they have. Like,
Oh yeah, it's a good
man,
thing. And you know what? I'm a person that likes to put my hands on these dogs.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of dogs out there, and I like to put my hands on them. Because sometimes videos or pictures don't do them justice. They might look bigger on pictures and videos, and then you see them in person, and you're like, "Oh, this is the dog." But sometimes,
yeah,
it's vice versa. Fuck, you see them in person, and you're like blown out, like, "Wow,
Yeah, and we've gone to shows and seen people bring their pets, right? I'm like, damn, whose
yeah,
dog is that? I've personally gone to shows, right? We personally gone to shows and we see dogs that we've seen on the internet, exactly like you said, and some maybe don't, you're like, ah, well, pictures are better, but then there's some dogs too, are they like, wow, you look even better in picture, or you've never seen the dog, right?
yeah,
Ever. It's just, and you're like, whose dog is that? What dog is that? I've never seen it on Instagram, never seen it on TikTok,
yeah,
never seen it
exactly,
on YouTube, Facebook, nothing, right? Nobody knows his dog, and then it's like, oh, I got this from so and so, and blah blah. You're like, oh wow, it looks better than, a dog that somebody's promoting or whatever, right? So,
yeah."
it's always better to see that, put your hands on them and see them.
No,
So
definitely,
yeah,
yeah. That's what I say. Yeah, go. I suggest, as a breeder, you should kind of be pushing these dog shows, and even if you don't show, you just breed, and you're producing some nice dogs out there. But attend these shows just so you can see other dogs out there. Maybe the people that have your dogs are showing, and you could be like, okay, yeah, I produce that dog. Okay, nice.
yeah, yeah,
yeah. And then
better.
like at the same time, like go ahead, Gabe.
No, just like that, like better for the breed, better for the dogs, better for the people.
Yeah, but
I agree because like even on that like where you say better for the breed, better for the people, because we can do so much as just three of us together. But like uh, teach one, reach one, right? Reach one, teach
yeah,
one, however it goes. So let's say you like with you with Gam. Now Gam has come on like now another stepping stone to adding and bettering the breed.
yeah,
So if you have a buyer that has come on like you and Gam and that has the same purpose and instincts and want to better the breed, why not if you have a solid production in a breeder in a pet home, and those pet home people are questioning like, yo, do I want to breed? I really think about breeding the dog, and they're learning from you for real. They go to the dog shows, then they really see what's in front of you, in front of them with the dog. Like, hey, maybe I can do this. You reach and you teach them and guide them to create, like, help correct the breed because that's now another entity in another yard that's gonna help put more into the mass because you can only do so much with one pebble. Really.
and you know what? Put it like this, like you mentioned, Gam, when he started showing, he had Daisy. A lot of people didn't know who was Daisy. I know what she was.
Yeah,
I produced the dog, but when he showed her, man, a lot of people were impressed with her. Confirmation wise, she's beautiful. You know, um, even the judges were like, "Wow, okay." They thought this was a male at first. I was like, "No, it's a female." She had a litter already, but there she is.
Yeah,
right.
and that was like that. She wasn't gonna, otherwise we wouldn't have, showed her, right? We had other
Yeah,
plans, but we weren't gonna show her, and then we brought her out and just confirmed everything we kind of already knew, and then it just kind of, branched out from there.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys can still see me, but
I still have
No,
those
talking
you're
about.
dark.
socks, by
Yeah.
the way. They have holes in the bottom, but I still have those socks.
No, and you
I'm
know
sure.
what? I didn't know about the IOEBA. I didn't know about that. I didn't even know there was a registry for oldies until I started kind of looking at Sykes' podcast, and he brought the president and his wife, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then he mentioned, he registers ABs and all this, and I'm like, oh, all right. You know, that
Yeah.
exposed more of the AB community to go register within for shows and stuff. And I know there's a couple of breeders out there that I know that probably don't even know what's the IOEBA. They just know the NKC or the ABA or the ABRA, but now there's another platform where we could take our ABs and show them as well. So I'll definitely be hitting
Well,
some of these shows when they come up.
with that been a note right there, Where if you're gonna do a foundational breeding, you have an AB or an AB in the English or AB in the oldie. Your AB and the other breeds have to be registered in the IOEBA before you're producing a litter.
Okay.
That's legit.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
what like your IOEBA is like, hey, if that bitch is male is not registered in this, you're not gonna produce that litter. You can produce it, but it's not gonna get registered. And that's one thing and another thing. Hats off to IOEBA for this too. I don't know how strict it is or whatever, but you have to before you do the breeding, you have to send them photos of the male, female from the
Okay.
front and from the side, from left and right, before they approve that breeding.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
that's
Matt. Yeah, you got to match up and see, and then you could say that's a Chihuahua. Sorry, sir.
yeah, that ain't
Mhm.
gonna happen.
I wonder if maybe down the future, when you do, I guess, like F1s and stuff, if the IOEBA will have like DNA to see what sire
Oh,
and stuff, you know,
yeah. So no
because
paper hanging.
there's a lot of hanging papers and shit.
A lot, and a lot of
So
people don't even know what that is. So Dennis,
yeah,
let them know what paper hanging
I think you're the
We're
is. The
we'd have
worst
to save
speech.
that one. We're gonna have to save that one for another Wednesday.
yeah, that would be
that's
for
yeah,
another
that's for
episode. Yeah,
that's for that let loose.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hey, that's y'all's breadcrumb. Follow us if you're hungry.
But yeah, that's cool. And those are things that are coming up. I think this is, like I said, we doing pretty good on this and getting some traction, and that's gonna bring the awareness, right, and people to that, and kind of ask some questions about even registering. Right, I know there's people that have purchased and sold dogs, and they don't really follow through on the papers, right? And then
true.
later on, they're scrambling like, "Oh, I want to do this, I want to do this," and the dog's for I don't even know what papers or where do I
Right.
go or So if you at least start that and everybody could continue, right? Or some people like, "Oh, I don't want papers, I just want the dog," but it's more than that, right? The
It
registry,
is.
that's more values, like you said. That's a whole other customer pool, right? And it's just a way to kind of do right by the breed, not just ours, but I think any breed.
Any
It's
breed,
good
yeah,
to
yep,
You know,
still register these dogs, right? And like so it doesn't get into that all that papers hanging and all that.
Gam, you just said something. You're like, it's a good thing. You're like, we're just getting started and we're trying to figure this way out. But since this isn't really this isn't what we have planned for the actual Wednesday, but we're doing what we're doing so we can still stay here. Yeah. But let me ask you, fellas, like from the Let Loose Dog Talk, what's y'all's goals of the podcast? Like, what do
Dennis.
y'all want out of it? What's
you know what we want to expose to the American Bulldog out there, but we want to bring
yeah,
informative things at the same time. Get knowledge from the people that are watching us. Like, because I'm a sponge. I'm still learning. I want to learn more, and just kind of bring the AB community together. And have them out here and for them to speak out on their goals or their journey into the breed or you know shit, even like you said, let loose, maybe fucking want to rant about something and whatever. Hey, here's your platform.
Yeah. Yeah, I think exposure, like you said, exposure to, the breed and bring some recognition. Maybe not everybody, especially now they get it kind of confused, like, oh, is that this or that's
Exactly.
that? But then just any kind of information, there's a lot out there. Right. But, sometimes,
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff we've learned, right? And I think it's good to share um with random people or strangers or amongst ourselves, right? I know there's stuff that I've learned that I'm like, oh wow, and then people ask me even on my everyday regular, like at work or whatever, like, I don't know, ask Gabriel, he has dogs. Say, oh, I got
Yeah.
yeah,
you,
yeah. I get the same
do
thing.
yeah, do this or give him this, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna try it. Like, I told my wife to do what you said and it worked, right? It's like,
Yeah.
shit, or we ask each other, or Dennis from the gates been, I'm like, hey, what's up with this, or what is this, like, oh,
Yeah.
look at this, and then we find what works, and as we get
Yeah.
more information, we could provide that, to people, and like you said, let loose. I'm sure there's as this goes on, there's gonna be a day when probably there is some rants, right, or someone that
Yeah, you know what? I got a
jumps on
funny
here and
story though.
calls
Yeah,
the
you,
hotline.
But they're called a hotline.
You
You
know,
know, dude, like before you jump in that story, there's like so for me, mine is the overall mass. It's overall just the overall dog itself.
yeah,
That's my goal. It's not just a particular breed. It's all breed,
yeah, yeah.
and that's one thing I love about the Let Loose is that what we're going to be doing is bringing in not just the sites of what we have for the AB, the
Correct.
OD, but there's multiple breeders and multiple breeds we're going to be bringing in.
Of
Just
course.
the education and what we can teach people because you can catch it like everyone can tell you something, but just the way someone else can say it can make can give you a more hindsight of like, okay, now I see what he's saying. So I want to be able to teach everyone what we know, but yet bring someone else that can provide something else that may teach us, but yet still teach the mass. And then on top of that, I want to start bringing in some people that like, they just started and let's uplift them and see where they're going and pick their brain and see if we can guide them. And even if they might have something that's going to teach us. So the overall aspect of what this is for all breeds, all people, and what we can do competitive wise and working together to unify all kinds of things. That's what I love about this, and that's what I want from
I know that's great. Exactly. Just to be informative. That's why
it. Right.
my story was. I had a somebody at work. They called out of work and they called me and they were like, Dennis, I didn't go to work because my dog ate some rat poison, and I'm like, well, shit, take him to the vet. But
Oh
he's like, well, what do
shit.
I do in the meantime? I was like, "Do you have any charcoal pills?" They're like, "No." All right, go get a corn tortilla, put it in the stove, let it get burned until it turns into charcoal. Get that, smash it through, put in some water, and give that dog some of that water with charcoal and stuff. And I was like, and then rush him to the vet. And you know what? The dog made it. The dog, and he's like, "Shit." Then it's, I was like, "Hey, I just know fucking charcoal pills work in case your dog gets into any kind of poison and shit. And I'm not
And you know
saying you're
how
gonna
many
save him
people?
his life, but you got a good chance that you'll be able to get him to the vet and he doesn't die on you.
yeah, that's ultimately saving the
Yeah,
life or
yeah.
buy some time, right? And that's
Yeah,
not some
Right.
stuff that anybody would just know, right? Unless
exactly. Yeah,
you've
but
been
it's
And
there
just
that's
to
or
be
why I was
somebody
literally
else
informative.
tells
just,
you
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
and I'm literally just thinking, like, you know how many people right now are like, you can do what?
Yeah,
yeah. You know.
Yeah, because there's so much like just from this triangle of us three that we have that we can bring and give to so many people just from what we've been through and our experiences or what we've learned from other people that may work, or just
Yes,
just to
okay,
help
they
them
might.
out in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
And
that
what
then
you about to say,
people
Gay?
still coming on, and talking and teaching or just sharing stories or things, or advice. Try this, didn't work. I tried this, whatever it is. I think there's a lot of people, that bring stuff to the table, right?
yeah,
There's a
definitely.
Which is
lot. Like,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Even those
all.
like those small kennels that people don't listen to, see, or really don't amount to nothing could have like some of that hidden gem, that gold, or something to bring to the mass of the breed.
Yeah, or
I
just
mean,
stories of why they maybe there's people that did it and they don't do it anymore, right? Or tried and they said, hey, you know what, I did it. I had a litter too, and it's not really for me, right? I want to
Yeah.
hear those stories, or people
yeah,
that hey,
like
we've been
I do
doing this for
too.
20 years, 30 years, right? Why do you still do it? I think it's pretty cool. Or people just even asking like, questions. There was a question somebody asked about their dog was reactive, right? It was a golden retriever or something. He's reactive on the leash,
Oh,
right?
you're reading the IG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
I'm looking at
IG,
it. They said I have a medium-sized golden doodle. He's very reactive when I walk him or when he's around other people. Any pointers? And then
Yeah,
this is a,
Re-
a, a pet owner, right? You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
well, one of them is guidance, guidance. So you got to set your foot down. But what has worked for me is those prone collars because you could correct them with even a choke chain. It sounds kind of bad, but you
but
know,
they come in handy.
yes,
yeah, and
Like,
and they're necessary. It's just that's a tool, right? We go back to the tool, right?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
exposure that
yeah.
leads back back to the socialization. Maybe he's just barely walking. He's already 9 months, right? A year. He hasn't really been on many walks.
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah, I was going to ask that question too. How much has
getting
he
the
been
reps.
socialized? How long? Yeah, the reps. Yes,
Yeah,
repetition is the father
that's
of learning.
That's what it is. I got a buddy.
Right?
We did some training with my dog. Shout out parkour dog training. His name is Gabriel as well. He helped us with some dogs, and it's just repetitions. And taught me some stuff and learned. It's not always we have the time, so sometimes you have to use your resources. Like hey, I'm not gonna have the time to rep this out, so maybe you got to pay 100, 500, whatever it may
Whatever
be,
it is. Yeah.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
that
yeah.
dog ready for you and your family. Training is good. Training is, important, but repetitions, man, the more you do anything, the easier, the better. And things like this. I mean, Google, helps, or ask people like that, like, hey, and people will give, some free game. Try it out.
And see, and
Yeah.
this that person has a golden doodle. Nothing to do with a bulldog or
Nothing to do
Yeah.
with
anything.
our
So
breed.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that right there is like just overall just the dog. It's
Yeah.
about the dog. It's for the dog. It's not just the breed itself. What can we do to better the community of the dog? And
Yes.
that's what we're here for.
Oh,
I was even
definitely.
asked today, like it's one of our regulars that comes in to where I work at. And I let him know about it. I was like, yeah. I said, they got me working tonight, but I got to go do a podcast. And he was like, what? You started a podcast? I was like, yeah. And he said, what's your podcast about? I said, man, it's about any and everything, dog. And he's like, well, I'm not a breeder. I said, it's not just for the breeder. I said, our goal is to, just put information for even those pet home people. What we can do for you and what we can help you do to better your dog and better your home and better the safety of the community while you're taking your dog out. Let's do that. And that's what we're doing. And he was like, oh man, how do I find you? I hope he's jumping into this podcast because I gave him the Facebook and everything. So I hope he's on here right
Yep. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. And you're
now.
right.
Yeah,
You know what? We're just putting a lot of informative stuff out there to help the community and even pet homeowners because when we started this our first episode, I got a lot of comments and messages saying like, wow, and these are pet homeowners that there were
yeah.
certain phrases that we were saying that they didn't know what they meant, and you know that's why last time, Ernest, I asked you, explain what's a F1 because they might think that a F1 is a breed or whatever it is,
It's
and
a
now
Formula One race car, bro.
yeah, now they understand it's not a F1. Yeah.
It's a race car.
It is. Yeah, no. I
Formula
got a
One.
Formula One race car. I got a Formula One race car sitting in her room right now.
You got a race
That
car,
bitch is all gas.
a race car bed.
I need to buy one of
Ernest,
those.
I know you've been wanting this female too for a minute, but
Which one?
she ain't going nowhere. Hold on. Oh, you can see her face here. Hold on.
Liddell said
Is that good on Athena?
That's Athena right there.
she's
Man,
tight.
take that picture down. Take that picture
Hold on.
down.
I
That's,
have another one. Hold on. Hold on.
that's a bad bitch, bro.
This one.
Hey,
I'm
I've been
telling you.
thinking, what's
What's
up?
up? No, I'm saying
Not people.
she got the
What the fuck I do with it?
She's tight.
see
She nice.
she got that.
Like, you don't get too many big bitches like that.
Yeah, she's tight.
Well, there she is, and I know because she's dying out here. So I know you've been wanting her for a minute, but hey, we got plans for her
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
soon too. So we want to jump in on that. And,
He's sending her over here, Liddell.
I want to be on everything.
Gab, you got Foreign Brim saying that she's coming for Vagar.
Cool.
Who?
Uh,
Hey, there you go. Hey, let me know. Holla
Who's
at your
coming from
boy.
Vagar? Ford coming from Vagar?
yeah.
Yeah.
Ford, do it. Ford, do it, though. Hey, you already got it. It's too hot.
Yeah, she's bad. I like her.
Double
We
up
got a
them
couple.
genetics, bro.
We got a couple pups off her. She did it. She did it good.
Yeah.
But let me know. Let me know when you're
If
ready.
if I was foreign brim and I came from Vanguard, I would tell you. I'm not going to tell you what I would do with it, but you do
Well,
your
put it
thing.
like this. This hey, Vagar can produce, man.
I know, and like because foreign is an oldie breeder.
Mm,
Because he has Tookie's belly sister,
oh,
and taking an AB, and if you're trying to do an oldies, boy, I know exactly what I would do with that bitch.
and hey, this is one of Vega's offsprings. The dog to the right here.
Yeah, boy,
So
I know
so
exactly what I would do with that bitch.
you know,
Yeah, that's the son, the inbred son. He was a
yeah,
singleton,
that is a
Ugh.
singleton. Only one pup in that
but
litter.
Hey, and speaking of,
a real singleton though, a real singleton.
What you mean by a real singleton?
I already know. I already know. Go ahead and let them know. The rest didn't die. This motherfucker's the only one.
So singleton, by definition, is when only one puppy is born.
Okay, so
Now you
singleton
had
is not like you have a litter and
no,
you have a litter of five and four die and you only keep one. That's not a
no.
singleton.
That's not a singleton. If they only pup survives, is only that only was one born. So this guy's one of
Hey,
one, inbred,
hey, Gam.
double, can't touch it. None out there.
Hey, Gam. Hey, you
Yes, sir.
remember? I'm a speak it without speaking it, right? So you remember we crossed the bridge, right?
Yeah.
You and I. All right. Have you done anything? Like, what if we cross that bridge again?
Well, a little bit different now, but yeah, we could cross. We could cross it.
Hey, because you already know what I'm thinking. I don't know if you know what I'm thinking. Dennis might know what I'm thinking.
I don't know what
I
you're
got this.
thinking.
I got this girl named Wolfina.
Oh, that's is that the Tuki sister?
The belly sister,
Yeah,
the red one.
Valley sister?
Mm.
yeah,
Uh oh. There you
yeah.
go.
She comes. Hey, she coming up soon.
Let me
I
know.
think I only have a picture of her when she's I don't know how old is she, but I know she's up here. Ernest, you'll be the best one to tell us. That's her in the bottom, right? With the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's a pup.
okay,
The left and the middle.
yeah.
Yeah, I got some plans to get some photos of her. I gotta hear back from my photographer here in the next, like, 'cause I got some plans to get some, trying to get some photos of her October 12th. And bro, again, let's do it.
Hey,
Holler at me.
I wanted to bring this dog to the right, this American Bulldog right here. You
Wolfina.
know how we our dogs are heavy on this dog called
Oh,
50,
now you was
and
about to.
they
I knew you was about to bring up 50.
yeah, and they have that consistency, man, because there's a sire and like, well, you have a grandson, but you have a son, and man, they're that look. It's there with see, and they're
Yeah,
heavy 50.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the dog in the
But
bottom.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing with that heavy 50 though.
What's that?
No down shots to 50. But I'm saying this for no disrespect, the older community. They don't know the ABs like we know the AB.
Okay,
Watch out for the 50. Because that 50 is spicy.
you
And
you
what I mean by
you got to know
spicy,
how to
you got
use it.
yes, and that's where I'm going. With what we have in our lines, the 50 genetic is there, but that 50 spicy temperament is toned. Because 50
Okay,
was a spicy. He was spicy, bro.
yeah. I can't. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But as far as the look and all that, yeah, temperament. These guys are chill. He's
They're
pretty
very chill.
drivey. He's pretty drivey though. He's probably on the drivier side. Um, but
But they got that off and on switch that I talked
but
about. That
he got the off and on switch, and he's
yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Then he pulled the other side, So he's a good in between. He's in the house right now. I gotta go let that dude out.
Man, his head type, very, very blocky, good jowl, nice even muzzle. I mean, he's a very solid dog. Look, thick neck,
Yeah, yeah. I gotta
bone is there.
get new pictures. He was just a puppy right there.
Yeah, I was like, he was young. That's whenever I was like, hey, let me get that.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
went up
Because
now.
how old is he now? How old is he now?
He's not even two yet, but he was back then when
Back
me and
then,
you
'cause he was
talked.
like 9, 10 months,
He
almost
wasn't
11
even
months.
one. Yeah, he wasn't even one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'd love to travel down that road again.
Let me know.
That'll be a ooh, boy. That'll be some that
Well,
man.
this is a question for you, Gam. So your boy, I know, is he open for stud?
Baby Diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's expensive, man.
Well worth the expense, though.
Uh, I'm not. I'm. Not, I mean, not. I don't think it's expensive if you're gonna put it to a program or even if you want something good. But
So let
yeah, I
me ask you this:
mean,
Are
What? Wait,
you
wait, 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 wait. What's expensive? Let them know. Let them know the ticket before they jump into your inbox.
no, they could jump in. We'll see. But yeah, no, he's
no no
you
no
know.
hold on hold on. My question was okay. He's open for stud. Um, but since you stud your dog out, do you have any requirements on the females, or would you breed it
Good
to
question.
anything out there?
You know what? For I've had a dog that I studied out. Wasn't none of my lines. And there was no really like requirements. But yeah, for Macho and Baby Diesel, yeah. Not that I'm picky, but I would yeah. There's a couple things I would like to see them. Um,
So in other words, they
see
got to
the
bring something to the
females.
table
Yeah,
to
yeah,
kind of
bring
match
something to
up.
the table because I
Yeah.
don't want nobody to think my dog or any stud, like we've talked about before, is gonna save that
The word
dog,
miracles.
and then kind of, we don't need that, to tarnish, anything. Because I'm like, oh, that dog didn't turn out, or he's not a good stud. Like, no, we're just not out here, trying to save the world. But if we could do some good solid pairings, and then also be, like in our like responsible, right? If I want the breed to look a certain way, and I'm like, hey, that's not the way I would go, which I think,
Yeah.
okay for some people to be, picky on some of those things. Um,
I
you
think
know, I,
I agree with you. I think I wouldn't say okay to be picky. I think we need to be picky. Like we
yeah,
have to. Because if we're just throwing our studs to any and everything, because what kills me, like I said, like while we're on the subject, I see so many people posting, "Oh, I'm looking for a chocolate tribe male, or looking for a red male, or X, Y, and Z," but they don't even post pictures of the bitch. But most
Yeah.
like people will start throwing this sire up. I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this. But no one's saying what's the bitch look like. And in my
yeah,
personal opinion, you're just about to breed something just to make $1. Nah, what that bitch look like? Because I'm not gonna just give you anything, and I'm not gonna waste my time for nothing. Show me the bitch first before I give you anything. I'm not even
yeah,
gonna give
yeah.
you
And
a
then you could go,
hello without seeing the
and
bitch first.
then you could go from there. I think sometimes I'll throw it out there just maybe for somebody else, right? Sure, I'll comment a picture under there, right? That doesn't mean we're gonna go through with it, but just kind of
Right,
exposure. If it's anybody else in the market, they see the picture, like, oh, what. Um,
right. I see that.
a lot of people ask, but I see a lot of people ask and don't ever, make it happen.
Um. Here's another one to that question. Do you require for the female to have any kind of health testing, or are your dogs health tested?
Yeah, all of my dogs are health tested. We do embark. So they're all clear, and I would say I haven't studied out Macho or Baby Diesel, but since those are something that like I produce, and they're lines that you and I use, or look
Yeah.
kind of the people that we work with use, and we want to preserve and keep going with. Um, yeah, there's gonna be um if we cross that road, then yeah, some health testing, or at least some knowledge of maybe the lines where they come from,
Yeah.
would be the route that I take.
Mhm. Okay. No, yeah, definitely. I think that's a good question to ask when they're inquiring about the stud, kind of see, how the female, whether she has any kind of health testing or whatever, just go from there. Kind of,
Yeah,
health testing really don't guarantee how good the dogs are going to be and stuff, but, it's to better the breed, I guess, make things healthier out there.
yeah, because that's the gene pool, right? That we're
Yeah.
gonna dig back into and stuff.
But yo, fellas, it's 11:15 my time. I've been
Oh,
home for
that's
about an
right.
hour. Yeah, I gotta. I've been at work
No,
since
for sure.
from
Let's
10.
wrap it up, guys. It was a good
Yeah,
episode. We'll be here next Wednesday. I know we try to be on time next time. We had some technical difficulties, but we'll get it together. I think it was a good show. Thanks everybody for
yo, hello.
commenting and stuff,
Yeah, no,
and we'll
absolutely.
we'll
Thanks,
catch it
everybody.
into the next one.
We'll see you.